Hi, in this slide, I want to take the metaphor of bright spots from Switch and use it, relate it to the idea of line item net profit analytics. In earlier playlists, we saw that it's one thing to identify that 20% of the citizens have 80% of the wealth, as Pareto did originally, or more powerfully, only 4% have 64%, sort of the 20/80 of the 20/80. But other power laws, that means just not democratic distribution of phenomena in nature. 1% of the movies get 80% of the revenue of ticket sales. 1% of English language words are used 80% of the time in communication. There are power laws in nature for the size of rivers, earthquakes, cities. If you ranked all your customers by gross margin dollars, about 30% of the customers generate about 70% of the margin dollars, not as skewed maybe as the sales number here. If we said what percent of the customers will give us 80% of our future net profit brought back to a present value, it's a very small percent will give us 80% of all of our net profit growth if we know who they are and we win them and keep them. When we look at cost to serve models and create whale curves, maybe the most amazing is with items, where you find that the 5% of the most profitable items are generating 500% of the profits. Of course, the other extreme with the whale curve, you find that you have 2-3% of the items that are destroying 300-400% of the profits. And when you go look at the single, biggest losing item, it will be an item that's wildly popular. It's getting picked many times every day, but every time you pick it, it's $1 worth of sale for that line item, maybe a 50 cents a margin, which is a great markup, 50% margin in the sale, but it's $10 to pick it. So then you go look at who's buying it, and lots of customers are buying it, and it turns out with lots of customers buying ones, why don't we pack it in 6 and tell them to order 6 at a time? And they might say, well, I only want to order 1. Well, you're going to use them on a regular basis. They go, that's true. And so they switch to 6. So you cut your picks, by 600%. Now, you're still losing money on each pick, type of thing, but, you're moving towards being less unprofitable. You may find that that also within that customer activity of that most unprofitable item, there are a few customers that are buying it many times a day by many different guys, all stopping at different locations, saying, "Hey, one little widget," and it's some big fill-in contract you have with some, regional contractor or something, and they're killing themselves with waiting time at the counter and so forth. We can work together to create a new solution for how to take care of them so their costs go way down, their productivity, uptime, on the job time goes way up, and everybody wins. So by going these extreme places and saying, what's the root cause, and then coming up with a little script, we can get dramatic results, and sometimes with really not much work or effort on anybody's part at all. So that would be where we look for bright spots, is at the extremes of the net profit ranking reports that come out of line item profit analytics. Thank you.